Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we finally got the sneak peek that I've been waiting for so long. He's the best there is at what he does, and now he's even better. We got the uniform confirmed for Wolverine, but there's so much more. And I don't want to yell and scream, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the in-game sounds for a second, and I'm going to unmute the Twitter sounds from this video. And they're quite cool. They're actually a little bit too loud, but they really capture the violence that is about to go down when Mr. Wolverine, Mr. Logan, gets his tier 3. Now that's exactly what you're seeing at the end there. It says T, and then there's a dash, and it says XX, but then he decides to slash the 3 next to the word T. So T plus 3, of course, means tier 3. And I can't tell you how excited I am for it. I kind of knew it all along, which is why my reaction is a little bit more subdued. I don't want to be the guy just smiling saying I told you so. I'm smiling because I'm so happy that Wolverine has a chance to return to the meta in a huge way, and possibly in many ways, not just one way. But first I want to just really quickly cover the sneak peek on Mobrum because there's quite a bit more text. CM Fragment: recently our mutants have been acquiring new weapons and training aggressively in preparation for any upcoming danger. Because of this, the atmosphere around the training grounds has been very chaotic at times. Wondering why they were undergoing such intense training, I decided to go and watch them train personally. There was a mutant that caught my attention among others. I'll reveal his new appearance after rigorous training below. A mutant who has undergone intense training. Now, undergoing intense training is always the keyword, or almost always the keyword for a tier 3, but we already know he's getting tier 3. Normally, he's just assigned to complete his duties without any training. I would love to see his overall power improved after all of this. Me too, baby! Me too! I would love to see his overall power improved. Oh my goodness, would I love to see that. This is the last of our sneak peeks. Look forward to our completed update details. So, this means that we aren't actually clear yet on whether or not we are getting a Facebook live stream. I know a lot of people love those, myself included, but it's unclear right now. I have to bring the in-game sounds back, my bad. It is unclear right now whether we are going to be getting a Facebook live stream or not. If we would, it would be announced later today. Additionally, we would be seeing the update landing shortly after, I believe, this thing ends. Maybe 8 hours after this ends, the update would go live, and the update maintenance might actually start just a few hours after this is over. So maybe 12 hours after this is done, the update will be live, and maybe, 4 or 5 hours after the maintenance will start. I'm a little bit wrong with the times there, but it's pretty close to that, based on the event quest. But we'll of course also be having an in-game timer. I'll be covering the patch notes when they go live in a video as well to discuss that. We're still missing at least Nightcrawler uniform, but there could be much more. I don't want to hype people up too much, but mentioning mutants, mentioning training grounds, mentioning danger, all of that, of course, reminds hardcore X-Men fans of the Danger Room, which is the basically best and most unique fighting grounds that the X-Men have ever, and the mutants in general, have ever been a part of. They can fight in mansions, they can fight in the sky and space, they can fight in one of Apocalypse's weird pyramid things, but the Danger Room has always been the coolest mutant-specific place to find battleground type materials, and so we've asked for it a lot. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned it in posts on various forums and boards, saying we need a danger room, we need a danger room. Even upgrade the skill preview to be the danger room. I'm not saying we're gonna get it now, but if this is a hint, or if this is possibly foreshadowing for something in the future, I would absolutely love that. But I also want to now give you a snapshot of Wolverine's potential right now, so we can capture in a bottle what a rank 300 or a top 300 defensively built Wolverine will be able to do once he gets his uniform, and then of course once he gets his level 70, gear 25, and then of course eventually tier 3. For those of you that don't know, Wolverine was at the tippy top of the meta for quite some time. It wasn't quite a year, but it was close to a year. He was extremely dominant without his uniform, only stopped basically by Jean Grey, and then he got his Age of Apocalypse uniform, and Quicksilver was a pretty good foil to Wolverine. It was kind of a deadlock, but he still wasn't beaten by anyone except Jean Grey, and frankly, he was even able to fend off and kill Jean Grey in a lot of PvP matchups because of the uniform giving him, you know, extra bonus stats that Jean Grey didn't have, in addition to the damage reduction, and just the fact that he out-healed so much of her damage. But then things changed in the meta. New characters came out that were even stronger. Wolverine got this kind of, you know, garbage uniform that actually made him worse because it got rid of the damage reduction. So we are really looking forward to a return to the powerhouse levels of Wolverine. We should be looking for, at minimum, a uniform effect that does exactly this and then changes around multiple skills. We are saying goodbye to the Omega Cannon probably forever. So for all those players who hated this uniform and never purchased it, or purchased it and just hated it, you don't have to worry anymore. Additionally, those of you that hated this uniform like me and never built it up, or for those of you that just weren't happy with these bonuses, hopefully we will be getting something that really speaks to the true power of Wolverine. As far as my build goes for now, I definitely intend to test out new things with Wolverine, like a CTP of Energy, possibly a CTP of Rage or Destruction. We're rocking right now double max HP Invincibility, which is extremely defensive. It's kind of like a meat shield. Fully Awakened Power of Angry Hulk, you know how we do. We've got all the skills at level 6 because you guys will actually hate me if I don't have his skills leveled up. We cannot touch his combat ranking or his combat type because he's not level 70 or he's not awakened, whatever his potential. Custom gear, we've got all 6-star Urus, one of the very few characters, I think possibly the only character I have full 6-star Uru on. And it's mostly defensive, but there is some crit rate in there as well, HP and physical attack. And then for the uniform, we've got, of course, all Mythic with all of the options Mythic as well. You know how we do. But even with all of that, I'm still only rank 336. And that mainly has to do with the fact that I don't have his newest uniform up to Mythic. The newer uniforms tend to give you slightly better combat growth score. It might be that, or it might actually be the Obelisk. I'm not sure which one of those is holding me back necessarily, but it doesn't matter what's holding me back because we're still going to bring you some gameplay to show you that even without a new uniform, Wolverine's actually not that bad. I tested this out. We're going to use, of course, Insane Nick Fury, double leadership plus support, and Shuri, so it's a very, very strong team for Wolverine, but we don't have a damage proc, and it's a level 10 Thanos, and we're going to be using these kind of garbage strikers. I don't want to bring in super OP strikers because it's going to skew his damage, and it's going to make Wolverine look like a god when I know that he's not yet. But the beautiful thing about this is that it illustrates both his offense and his defense, because you're going to be able to see some damage, and more importantly, you're going to see that he actually is able to tank. Because like Deadpool, he's got that insane healing factor, and so even though he gets hit by Thanos, it doesn't matter because he just regains all that lost health sooner or later. So that is really one of the reasons that Wolverine is one of the best and has the potential always to be one of the best characters in the game. That healing factor is better than iframes, because even if you have iframe ignore, if you can't kill me before I heal, you're literally never gonna kill me. And so we're going to really have to watch this closely, but Tier 3 plus uniform is really going to mean a lot of things for both Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're both getting it. Of course, Deadpool already has his Tier 3, but he doesn't have the uniform. So I'm very curious to see what route they take with these characters. Do they make one of them clearly more powerful and stronger for PvP and one more for PvE? Do they kind of try to balance them both? What is going to happen? I'm not sure, but if Wolverine returns to his former glory, it will be both, because back in the day, Wolverine was a top contender for both PvE and PvP, which is just wonderful. And so I really honestly can't wait to see just how strong he is. And I know a lot of people are in that boat as well with me. I'm just going to tank these hits. He's not going to die. Yep, you literally can't kill me. He's healing 7,000 per tick, and because he has actually higher base stats than Deadpool, because he's a combat type, he stands to gain more from his healing. So technically speaking, I would say that Wolverine has a better shot at being PvP meta compared to PvE meta, just because of the fact that he's got those crazy base combat stats. But we also have to just see how Netmarble interprets his damage, because it's really up to them. They set the final rule on whether a character is going to end up being good for one or the other, but he could also end up being good for both, and that's something that I've already said. And you might think it's an exaggeration because I'm just a big Wolverine fanboy, but no, seriously, Wolverine was good, amazing for both PvE and PvP, and it's absolutely possible that it happens again. Netmarble has been really good. You can't kill me. You can't, literally. Oh, can you kill me? Nope. Netmarble has been really good about balancing characters, about not being too OP with their builds. So I'm optimistic that they're not going to goof this one up. But to be honest, and this is the fanboy in me talking, this is not the Cynicalex making helpful videos. The fanboy in me is like, fuck it, let's go. Let's make Wolverine the best character in the game. I would love that. It would be shitty for some people, but it would be awesome for me. And I really like Wolverine, so you know what? When your character becomes OP, you'll know exactly how what I'm saying feels. And if you were a huge Winter Soldier fan back when Infinity War came out, or if you were a huge Captain America fan, that's exactly what happened. You know, because it happened to them. We're gonna switch right here, but he's doing it. He's grinding it out. It's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty for Wolverine. It's kind of like Old Man Logan. You know that he's struggling, and you know that he's trying his hardest, and it's just not good enough. But he's doing it at the same time. He is doing it. You can't knock his spirit. That's one thing that Wolverine's got. He's got that fighting spirit. He never gives up. He's got that honey badger mentality. I don't know if it's a honey badger or if it's another type of badger, but he's got the badger mentality. And he could probably do this. Of course, with a damage proc, he could go higher than 10. 10 is not that impressive, but it is given. Oh, I might die here. Nope. It is considering my PvP build that he's able to do this. I might actually get stuck, or very close to stuck. Let's see. Let's see how close we can get. But I would love to see just with the uniform. I actually want to do a test just with the uniform, this exact same stage, these exact same teammates, and see just how. I kind of want to take one of these waves and see if he tanks it. Woo! That's the closest he's ever been to death. That was like what? 45,000 damage? That was a lot. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Trying to kill me? No thank you, bud. I'm Wolverine, baby. You can't stop me. Oh, I'm not Wolverine, but he's Wolverine. The healing factor, yeah, hitting the healing factor is actually bad for the next 6 seconds, but I think we got this. Yeah, looks like we've got this. I'm not going to clear this, of course, because as always, I don't want to waste my raid level bonus by doing such a low stage when I could do like a stage 50. But yeah, with 19 seconds left, we're going to do one more tier 3 or one more 5th skill, and we're going to stop it. He can absolutely get this done. Stage 10, Wolverine. Defensive build, very offensive teammates. This is kind of a mini snapshot. I didn't want to do anything PvP related because he gets completely dunked without guard break immunity for one, and for two, he just can't compete with level 70 gear 25 characters. They're too high. There's too much of a gap. It's very hard for level 60 characters. So there wasn't going to be as much of a good comparison, but just look at the HP, guys. I understand that I have a defensive build compared to Captain America, but he's sitting on 62,000 HP. Think about how high that goes when he hits tier 3. Are we going to see a character with 6 digits of HP on this page, on the stat page, before any multipliers? Are we going to see a character with over 1 million HP in other PvP game modes? Maybe we already have. I don't know. I love Wolverine. If you don't, get out. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you are as inner hyped for Wolverine as I am. I'm trying to keep the screaming in, so appreciate it for that. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.